Recording. 2 channels started.
So it's 5:27 in the morning, Saturday, and I'm doing another crazy Uber thing, and I set up my alarm for 4 a.m. and got my first ride at about 4:15, 4:20, and that was a couple, a girl and a guy, right around the corner from my apartment building, and they were going to the airport. And of course, that was like $9, 7 kilometers. And of course, from the airport, this was like, yeah, real early, right? There's no flights, and Uber says go to the waiting lot. No way. So I know I just have to return to my area, to northeast. And I decided I was hungry, so I came back pretty much to my area, and there's a McDonald's there. And I look and I see there's some cars in the front, so okay, meaning they're open. I went through the drive-through, ordered a couple of breakfast burritos, and as I'm waiting at the window, Uber beeps and gives me another ride. It says 1.5 kilometers away. And I wait for my burritos. They're taking longer than normal. I'm thinking the guy's gonna cancel. No, they give me my burritos, and I go pick up the guy close by, and I look where we're going after I click, pick up, and it's like 25 kilometers. Yes, that means that it should be at least like $25. Usually $1 per kilometer, right? Sorry. And I see the destination. It's some kind of a church in uptown Calgary. And actually, I'm looking at my mirror now, and I see there's another car unloading people. And it's like, again, it's 5:30 in the morning, and there's some women standing there, and they're all wearing white, long robes. Like, women are dressed in white, long robes. And this guy had also a white shirt, but black pants, but women are all white, and they were standing outside of the church at 5:20 in the morning on a Saturday. So I'm not sure what's going on, but this is some kind of a, kind of like African or something church. And so, yeah, so now it's 5:30. What do you do? So I just shut down here near the church, and I'm waiting for my next ride,
Recording. 2 channels started.
So Uber wasn't doing anything, so I started Lyft, and as soon as I pressed the button online, right away they gave me a ride, a good rate, because I can see, kilometers on how much they pay, unlike with Uber, right? Like something like $12, except that the pickup is 2.5 kilometers away. Yeah, usually Uber gives you rides closer, but what do you, like, instead of sitting there near the
stop sign, turn right.
Near the church with people in white robes at 5 in the morning, yeah, I decided to get away from that.
In 1.6 kilometers, at the stop sign, turn right. In 1.6 kilometers, turn right to enter the parking lot.
Yeah, I don't like driving so far. Actually, I did not see this. I accepted too fast. I saw the number, like how much it pays, and I accepted. But if I knew that it was like 3 kilometers away, I would not accept it. I would not have accepted it. There should be something better. funny, I just came this way. This weird road here above the Deerfoot Trail. So we're just going over Highway 2 on Deerfoot Trail. And I'm heading east. Better slow down, it's 50 clicks in. So the first passenger was the airport, the second one was the church. I would never have guessed that at 5 in the morning people go to church. And so I wonder what ride number 3 is.
Turn right to enter the parking lot, then arrive at the pickup.
Ah, so he's somewhere here at 7-Eleven. And turn right. Somewhere here.
Turn left, then turn left to enter the parking lot.
Fine. Morning. Gordon?
Yeah.
How are you? Sorry, I went to 7-Eleven first. I thought you were there. Okay.
In 137 meters, turn left to exit the parking lot on McGonigal Drive Main.
Recording. 2 channels started.
So passenger number 3 did not put in the correct address. It looks like he's like working for a temp agency or something. And so I said, so I go to the place where, it was Lyft. I go to the place that he indicated, and he says, oh, that's not the right way. He says, the building is nearby. Turn right here. I go right. We go through a couple of lights, and he says, oh, I think we passed it. It's like, to me, he's not drunk or anything, but the way he speaks, it's kind of like funny. Now Uber wants me to pick up somebody 13 minutes away. No way. So anyway, we turned around, and then actually I guess that place where he was going, it was on the way to the building he indicated. I said, why did you do this? He says, oh, it's a new building, it doesn't have an address yet. So anyway, eventually we found it. So of course they charge him extra for all the mileage, because the app can see that I was doing circles, and I already had another passenger. As I was driving him, Lyft gave me another passenger. That's how I ended up here in this industrial zone, basically outside of 201. And I picked up this lady at the Tim Hortons coffee shop, and when she's getting in, I see that all her pants are covered in paint. I said, is that dirt? Like, is that gonna rub off on my seats? And she says, no, that's dry. She says, I'm going to work. And she joked. She says, if I was going if this was after work, they might have been wet, but she says, no, it's all dry paint. I said, okay. And so we went like, I don't know, 8-9 kilometers, and I got $8. But of course here there's nothing. It's all industrial, as you can see. I often come to this area, by the way, when I'm driving, you know, my Freightliner or the pickup truck for work. So I know this area. Like, in particular, this crazy intersection over here. There's 2 stop signs, and the road goes left. So you can turn right, but it's a dirt road. There's some kind of a plant over there, but I never see any vehicles coming out of there. But why would they put stop sign on the corner of the main road, you know? That doesn't make any sense. Like, put a stop sign over there on the dirt road. If there's somebody comes out of there, like once in a century, but this is the main road. Okay, 10 minutes away. What the heck? Alright, I'll take it. 9 kilometers.
In 600 meters, turn right on Highway 560.
Well, it would be I would be curious to see. So Uber wants me to go 9 kilometers to pick somebody up, and we'll see. I'll tell you guys in a second your time, because we're gonna switch off the camera when I pick up this, I don't know, lady, guy, or whatever. Like, the name is not English. Oh yeah, it's somewhere basically. So it's the same one as they offered me before, but it was 13 minutes. Now it's 10 because I'm closer, because I have nowhere to go. I was actually trying to go left over there towards the Calgary, because I'm outside of, like I mentioned, I'm outside of 201. But like, now we're in the country here. What is this? 9 kilometers. Well, at least it's getting light. I really hate driving in the dark, but you can still see some. I can still see a star over there. And we're going east. What's the speed limit here? 100 clicks, okay. Well, if this guy lives out in the boonies, he's probably not going 2 kilometers, right? But he might be going, I don't know, 10 kilometers, and so they're gonna pay me $10. And for me, that will be 9 kilometers plus 10, 20 kilometers. But I was stuck in this industrial zone anyway, so I would have to drive somewhere anyway, right? It's probably somebody getting off work, because here we see there's some kind of a big container yard. Well, there's farms. Like, normally people that live here, they all have
600 meters, turn left on Range 283 using the left lane.
people here all have cars, right? But sometimes the car breaks down. Okay, so alright, so I'm gonna be following this truck over here.
Turn left on Range Road 283.
Range Road 283. I think I was here the other day, because my last ride yesterday for work, I was in the freight line all day, and then at the end they said, okay, hook up a generator and take all these accessories and take it to Chestermere, which is nearby here. But you know, we are in the northeast near the airport, and it was already 3:30, you know, on a Friday, and the distance was like 25 clicks. I said, you want me to go now to Chestermere? And the boss says, yeah, all right, it's your money, because then of course it's going to be overtime. And I was right. So by the time I came back, it was 4:30. So I started at 6:45 till 4:30. That's more than 8 hours. But I guess there was some kind of something is happening on the weekend. There's a park near the lake in Chestermere, and so the customer ordered two generators, you know, the ones you tow behind. And so I took one and all the accessories like power extension cords and power distribution box and the lock for the trailer, and guy number 2 took exactly the same load, but like, you know, basically everything times 2. And usually, yeah, when they rent these generators, it's for some kind of an event where they need to have electricity. Man. Like, I hope this guy goes far. Or girl, I don't know. Maybe it's a girl. I hope she goes far so I can make some money. Otherwise, I cannot drive like this. The worst part would be, because now we're entering, I think this is actually this is the town where I deliver the generators. So the worst part would be if she's going to work like 2 kilometers away. And actually it happened a couple of times. You know, Uber would send me like this, 10 minutes away to pick up a customer who was going just around the corner because they have no other cars in the area.
Recording. 2 channels started.
So I drove back to my home, right? Because there was nothing there. And I cashed out money from Lyft. And I'm sitting there and I turn off the filter on Uber because it was filtering rides towards my home. And I turn on the filter and I was fumbling with the phone, so the Uber was still active, but now it was looking for all rides. So I'm sitting in front of a wine store, just wanted to get some wine, and then it says, it beeps and it gives me a ride, and it says 100 meters away there's a passenger. And of course I have no idea where the guy is going, and I go there. A guy stands on the sidewalk near the apartment building. I click pick up and it says 30 kilometers. And I don't want to cancel. Of course, technically I can cancel, right? But the guy's already there. He's waiting for me. He's getting in the car. Well, he got in the car, and then of course I slide the thing. Passenger picked up. And so it turns out his car broke down. He has a Nissan something. He has some transmission trouble, and he's working at the University of Calgary in a lab. And so he's going to work on a Saturday, and he says he knows that it would cost him more when he going home because he works until midnight. Now I thought my work sucked, in terms of hours, but no, actually my work does not suck. Like, actually I like my main job because I get off work at at 3:30, 4, occasionally like 5, but usually they let me go early. But this guy works from, I'm guessing, 4 until 12 on a Saturday. And so 30 kilometers, Uber paid me 29 bucks. And I knew it would be around 30 because it's like $1 per kilometer, right? And so now, when I stopped for that wine, which I didn't have time to buy, I was at $190. So now I'm at, what is it? 190 plus 220, roughly. 220. So I reached my goal of $200. But something happened in the middle of the day there. I still don't understand how you can be sitting at Cross-Iron Mills with millions of people inside and zero parking whatsoever. So many cars, and nobody wanted a taxi. Well, I did decline one offer, right? There was one offer, very cheap, under 10 bucks. It was from Lyft, I think. But then Uber was like dead. I don't know. And this guy also said he used to do Uber. Back in the day, he says, when you could make 2,000 in 2 weeks, basically 1,000 a week, like full time. So he said he was doing it from 2019 until 2023. Maybe that's why he has transmission trouble, because I'm guessing his Nissan, that's what he used for Uber. Yeah, so now what I did is, see, I'm on Trans-Canada 1. I set up the filter again, telling Uber to filter rides by destination. And I said, I want to be home at, because you have an option either right away or you can choose time. And I said, okay, now it's 3:46 or 3:45. Get me home by 5 p.m. Oh, this was a surcharge area. Just, I'm passing this area, just changed color. It was, so if somebody would have stopped me here, I would have gotten extra money. Wow. Yeah, it's a surcharge. Just behind me. So now it says 24 minutes till my home, and it's 24 kilometers. So it's sending me, I'm east on Trans-Canada or 16 Ave, all the way towards Deerfoot or Highway 2. And then I go north. Whereas before, it sent us on the fastest route, which was the Stony Trail, the Ring Road. And it was 30 clicks, but it was pretty easy. Like, the traffic was okay. Just, it took 22 minutes, I think. This beautiful building on the right, it's SAIT, South Alberta Institute of Technology. So that's where you can go to become a mechanic. Because I know 2 people at the company where I work, they got their degrees from this. One guy became a heavy equipment mechanic, and one of the managers got his degree here, which is just basically not a real degree. It's more like a trade. So his diploma is in small engine repair, and they all ended up at this equipment rental company. And so yeah, tomorrow is going to be busy again in the morning for some reason, even though it's a Sunday. But again, it's a long weekend. Labor Day is on Monday. So basically what happens with the filter, instead of searching for all rides, let's say somebody from here going to, I don't know, Okotoks or something, right? So they're looking for rides where people go into my direction, which is a pretty helpful feature. But when it's not busy, it doesn't work, right? Because there's no rides. But still, there's a chance that I can get another 10, 15, maybe 20 bucks, depending what the distance is. Like for example, from here, if somebody is going to the airport, they'll give it to me, right? Because I live near the airport. Or if somebody is going to back to the same Cross Iron Mills, they can give it to me. Like the other day, Lyft also has a similar feature. I was driving also.
In 3 kilometers, keep left to stay on Trans-Canada Highway.
Yeah, I was driving on Deerfoot Highway 2 north, and I had the Lyft filter on. And as I'm passing 64 Avenue, where there's a big Walmart, they give me a ride, you know. And they picked up a lady from Walmart who just finished her shopping, and I took her to, I think, Cityscape, which is just south of my area where I live, like northeast. Traffic is not too crazy. Lots of lights, of course, but what do you do? Now we are already at Center Street. And Center Street, by the way, is, I did not know this before, this Center Street, this is where northwest changes to, let's say, northeast, and southwest changes to southeast. And they have the same streets. Let's say when you're downtown, there can be one street southwest, second street southwest, and then when you cross the Center Street, it becomes one street southeast and second street southeast, and so on. So same street number, except those 2 letters in the end. And so in the news today, there was another semi-truck accident in Florida. I don't know if you guys heard about it. A guy was hauling cars, like a car transport truck, and he was on a divided highway, and he decided to do a U-turn from one side to the other. And to do that, you have to go through some dirt. Like there was no concrete wall in there. It was just dirt in the middle. And turns out that ground was soft, and so he got stuck. He got stuck, and his trailer was blocking 2 lanes. And they said the highway was congested for like half a day, until eventually the tow truck showed up and was able to pull him out. And of course police showed up, TV crews showed up, and they're talking to this guy and like, why would you do this illegal U-turn? And the guy was, yeah, we do it all the time here. Uber just sent me a message, says high earnings potential. Oh, look at this guy. A small SUV, Honda CR-V. He has some boards in there. And he put a high-vis vest. No flags, just a high-vis vest. But I don't know. They're saying that it's high earnings potential. I already met my goal, and I've been driving since 4:30 in the morning, and it's almost 4 now. So it's like 12 hours, right? But of course, you know, I spent 2 hours waiting. Then I went for lunch. But it was actually a quick lunch. I went inside the food court at Cross Iron Mills, and I found a mucho burrito, and I had some tacos with beef and chicken. They were pretty good.
In 600 meters, keep left to stay on Trans-Canada Highway using the left lane. Trans-Canada Highway, then turn left on Deerfoot Trail northeast.
Yeah, now we're just jumping on northbound Deerfoot Trail that I drive on every day for work. The construction zone is still there. I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to finish this. It's like 11 kilometers, and now they have another area where also the speed limit is 80.
Important directions. Turn left on Deerfoot Trail northeast, then keep right.
We'll keep filming until I pass 64F. Because if there's nothing,
Using the right 2 lanes, keep right.
if there's nothing at 64 Ave at Walmart, and there's also a Canadian Tire there, there's a Bass Pro Shop, lots of restaurants. If there's nothing there, then that's it, I'm going home. The only time once, the last exit before Airport Trail, once they gave me a guy who was going from that area to my area, like a short ride. Well, there can be somebody going from a hotel to the airport. You know, hotels in my area over there near the airport. Because Uber thinks that I want to be home only at 5, and now it's only 4, right? But it's a good system, you know. Like, I wish we had less drivers. If we had less Uber drivers, so we could all make a bit more money, and then maybe this system where you set up the filter and you filter your rides by destination, maybe it would work better. Well, the good news is about this Ubering is that I did a lot of kilometers today, and I started the day, my average was 10.4 liters for 100 kilometers. 10.4, because a couple of times I drove aggressively last week, but now because I drove mostly on highways, now my average is 8.4 liters. You know, so basically the more I drive on highways, the better my gas mileage becomes. So 8.4, that's excellent. It's when I had my Mazda 3 with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, that's what I was getting, like 8 on average. But this one is much more powerful than the Mazda 3. I think Mazda 3 was 150 horsepower. This is 200. Alright, last chance, Uber. Give me something. So this is McKnight. Well, I'm gonna come back here tomorrow for some plane spotting. Because one of the better viewing areas is over here. Because this is the south end of the airport. And they have 2 runways going south to north, and like before, right? Like I said, it was 10.4, but 8.2 is awesome. Oh, and actually this time, yeah, so it's 20, what did I say, 28.6. Actually, one of the reasons it got so good is because I'm using 94 gas. I forgot about that, so I paid extra. I paid probably 30 cents per liter more, but I just think occasionally it's a good idea to use high octane gas, just to clean up, you know, the fuel system. And I think it does help with performance and gas economy, or petrol economy. 28.6. Now, for comparison, my Dodge Durango averages 15 liters per 100 kilometers, which is 15.6 miles per US gallon. Almost 2 times worse than this one. And that's why I don't want to use Durango for Uber, especially since all these rental customers, they're putting too many miles on it, you know. And this last guy, No, I don't give them unlimited mileage. We only give them 400 kilometers a day, so 250 miles. But if you want unlimited mileage, I give them an option of paying $100, and then you get unlimited mileage. And so this guy decided to do that. So I'm making money, but I'm wondering where the heck is he going? So 5 days over the long weekend, and he decided that 2,000 kilometers, 400 times 5 is not enough, but he wants unlimited. So basically, which means that he expects to drive more than 2,000 kilometers. And so when I gave him the car, it had 21,000 clicks on the odometer. So I'm just wondering, what number am I going to see Monday when the car is returned, hopefully in one piece. Yeah, so and that's it. You see, neither Lyft nor Uber gave me any offers ever since I started driving 20 minutes ago. Oh boy. So we're gonna cancel Lyft, and we're gonna cancel Uber. Because it's useless. I'm just gonna go and grab some wine for the night and retire and work on this video, and then I'm gonna now recently I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube about fitness, about training, you know, like best exercises for people over 60, you know, over 50, stuff like that. And now I'll be watching something about aviation photography. So yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. First Uber, and then aviation photography, and maybe at night maybe I'll go on a short bike ride. But normally I do Sunday mornings, right? I do a long ride on a bike Sunday morning, but because I needed to make some money, I decided to forego the ride and do Uber instead. So yeah, this is one of my favorite liquor stores over here, because they always have great deals on wine. Because most people in this area, they drink whiskey and beer, and so they have trouble selling their wine, and that's why it's always on sale. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. Be good.